Hello there, this is Rom Wills back at you with yet another car video. The futility of attacking select men. You know what? Like I said, Rom sees everything. And I got people, my eyes are everywhere. And, there's this thing going on now. You got some content creators taking shots at select men, and also dating coaches who are select men. And the shit is funny to me because it's futile. It's exercise and ego massage. It's something to help people sleep better at night, because it is futile for one simple reason. What does it accomplish in the end? What does it accomplish? Does it stop, does it stop a few more people from subscribing? Whatever. Does it like hit somebody in the pockets? No, not really. Because people gonna follow who they gonna follow anyway. I'll speak for myself. My base has always been select men and guys on the verge of select. Dudes who's like solidly non-select never liked my shit from like 20 years ago. Shoot. To the point I didn't even bother messing with them. Go ahead, sweetie. Go ahead. Yeah, to that point. So it's like, okay, so what does this do? Because, see, here's the problem with it. If men are talking to other men about, don't follow that dude, or trying to put that dude down to other men, it's totally irrelevant. Because of one very simple reason. One very simple reason. Women choose who select and non-select. Just like men choose who's a diamond, who's not. Like a woman could say she's a diamond. There's actually plenty of women say, well, like, you get some women. They'll get together and say, well, I'm more attractive, or this woman's more attractive, or these guys should be chasing us. And the men looking at them rolling their eyes. Women doing the same thing. Guys trying to say, well, this man ain't this man ain't that. And I'm like, it's totally irrelevant, because the women still sliding into men's DMs. The women still hitting them up. Shoot. Because understand something. And I talk about this in my book, Nice Guys and Players. It's one of my main points. And guys been hearing it on this YouTube space. Women choose. They decide who's select or not select. That shit started back when they shoot. Preschool. Get the one kid, he cute to the little girls and everything. They all trying to like put their like sleeping mats next to his. And then really, that's just nature. Only way it got changed up. Was in Western culture, Western and Asian culture, where men, through controlling the resources and not allowing women to acquire their own, and brute force, was able to change it. And even then, we have to remember that whole thing about women cheating. Because even now, you get some guys talking about, well, a dude could be ugly, fat, and still get women if he got enough money. Yeah, on the surface. Because I kindly refer you to the videos I talked about, the sexual shadow world, because that's the reason it exists. Women to get that surface guy, chill out with him, go out, shoot. Hell, might even like have sex with him long enough to have a baby or something that might look like him. Notice I said the word might. But then still cheating with that dude that she's actually aroused by. Because a lot of these relationships are like that. You get some of those you see that same thing, and then you find out. Just like I said a couple weeks ago, you get some of these celebrities and stuff, celebrity women. Or they could be married to some guy, or some woman married to a celebrity guy, but then all of a sudden she rolled from the celebrity guy with a good settlement package. Because the idiot probably didn't think in terms of a prenup. And then be fooling, and then be like marrying the bodyguard or the trainer. Be hanging out with him. Be hanging out with some dude. Nobody know him. And that's the common thing. That's the common thing. Because it's a physicality thing. So you can't even go with that. Even the guys, like if a guy really wants to be like get the best from a woman, you know, he still got to have that physicality and the money and stuff. Like I would say a masked man that dude got to look like a Ken doll or something. He still got to look good and be muscular. And the money. For him to like she'll still, you know, she might choose him. And because, actually that's just how it is. People want to come out here and change some stuff, or they get mad at the guys who got it. I'll give an example. My oldest son is 6'2" and very shy and quiet, very shy. He must get it from his mama's people because that's not my youngest son. And he's 6'2", he's tall, and all the women love him. All the women love him. He be trying to play it off and shit. He be out, like, all the cute girls be saying, hey, hey, hey. And I'll be like, damn, dude. Be laughing about it. But should somebody get mad at him for it? What's he gonna do about it? That dude ain't like running any game. He ain't telling women any bullshit. He don't try to be stylish. He put on the first 3 things he'll step on. But women gonna like him anyway, and that's the nature of the select. Regardless of what they do. Even if you try to cock block them or something, the women still gonna come to him. Now, this is a story I told before. It was in a social circle I was in. I'll put it like that. I can't identify too much because then people will be like, oh shit, I had the wrong person listening to this video, and they'd be like, oh damn, I didn't know it happened like that. But it was in a social circle I was in, and a new woman came into the circle. A new young girl came into the social circle, and you know, it was a nice sized circle, and everybody, men and women, told this girl to look out for this certain dude. Say, yeah, stay away from him. He'll play. He a dog. You know? She ended up giving him something anyway. In fact, I talked to the dude. I told him about her. I said, man, everybody telling so-and-so to stay away from you. And it was like, he's like, who's so-and-so? He wasn't even concerned. And that's how it worked. I mean, you know, you get some cats out here and they trying to put down a dude or telling other dudes and shit, and I'm like, nah, you need to talk to the women, because with that selects that thing is purely a sexual hierarchy, who they find sexually attractive, who they aroused by, and you know that arousal is based on really three things. This is just nature, whether you like it or not. This is nature. 75% is just physicality, and I don't mean just the face, the overall physicality. Even so-called sapiosexual women, I found something. I actually found this online because I looked that up. Yeah, they like an intelligent man, but they like to look at his ass too. So that's the funny thing with that whole sapio. Like, oh, we like intelligence and stuff. But like most things, women only give half the story or tell you some bullshit. They always say personality and stuff, and then, which they do. They do like personality. They do like all of that. And in certain occasions, maybe they can get past the look somewhat, but not totally. You got to be at least at a threshold for them to be feeling it. Even with sapiosexuals, every single woman who calls herself a sapiosexual, I talk with them. All I do is talk with them for about a half an hour, and I'll find out what their physical type is. And they stick with it too. In fact, some of those sapiosexuals are pickier, but it's not for the brain. Because if it was about the brain, if it was really about the brain, shoot, they would take time to get to know somebody. But usually they make that, really, they look for that guy who's either tall, buff, or even one woman, I know she like big dudes, like really big dudes and stuff. Even then, you gotta have that. You gotta have that just for her to like even entertain the next step. And then there's the charisma part that's just really like connecting. And then masculinity. And really, that's the science. You got like that combination of body build, charisma and masculinity, then they don't all have to be equal. You can have one more than the other, but the more you arouse a woman. Because that, and I even say that in sexual chemistry. That's not sexual chemistry. My first book, Nice Guys and Players, that's the sexual hierarchy. That's the only difference between a nice guy and a player is sex. But see, a lot of dudes don't want to get that. They think, oh, just because they got some good virtue or something. Well, that's good for a friend. That's good for somebody to hang out with, but as far as getting wet, they ain't doing it for a woman. They need to look at something. I'm going to tell you what. They need to look at something physical on you and like it, first of all. So that's select. So don't get mad at that guy just because he got something physical about him that women like. Or that he behaves a certain way. Because I think one problem with a lot of guys out here, they want women to violate the laws of nature, but it's not. Like I said earlier, when it seemed like something else, nah, it was an illusion. In fact, a book some guys should get, it's called Black Players, The World of Black Pimps. I think that's the title. Tariq Nasheed reprinted the edition and put it out, and that's one thing the pimps saw. They considered particularly white culture as a trick culture. So that money thing, that money's for your own stuff. Even these women saying it, because all those women saying that shit, they'll get that guy on the surface, and then that tall young boy with his chest popping gets it on the side. Because remember, shadow world, women's infidelity. But my point with all of this is, don't get mad at the select man. It's like, what you mad at? Get your ass in the gym, get your physicality right. You need to learn from him instead of getting mad at him. Because saying anything ain't gonna change anything. Because the women ain't listening. That's the one thing. The women ain't listening. You gotta get the women to go along with it. And they ain't gonna do it because of a man. It's take women talking to other women. And even then, biology wins. And, as I wrote in an article on my blog one time, the female gaze has been freed. So they free to go after what the fuck they want. Because despite even economics and all of that, overwhelming majority of women, they can take care of themselves. Either that or Big Daddy government can take care of them. So, get mad at the select man don't mean anything. He just doing him. Just doing him. If you're gonna get mad at somebody, get mad at whoever you consider a deity. Get mad at your God. So, just had to share that. It's futile. It's like, it is what it is. Shoot, nature's taking over. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I know somebody gonna be pissed off, but I don't really care. I'm here to tell y'all the truth. I've never had the luxury of living in a fantasy and seeing shit for wishful thinking. Too many men out here living. We complain about women with magical thinking, but too many men got some magical thinking too. Too many men. So anyway, that's all I got for today. I'll talk to y'all. Peace.